Hey, what's up, everyone? Those soothing sounds of the 1080 snowboarding soundtrack means it's October 7th, 2011. You're listening to episode 166 of On Tap. I'm Dale Koulis. Joining me is the returning Matt Kohler.
Hey, guys.
Yes, that as an N64 game, the original 1080 snowboarding, and this episode will be primarily doing a redo on the Nintendo 64 Retrospective in honor of its recent 15-year anniversary.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. And we're gonna to make things interesting this time around. This will be we'll be getting Matt's new perspective on the system, but we're also and I played a ton with N64 growing up with Matt, so he has a lot to share. We're gonna be doing it alphabet soup style, where we're just going to be running down, the alphabet, and just a few games from both of us for each letter, just to make it different and interesting this time around. I'm not going to lie, I got the idea from when Retronauts did it from their Genesis retrospective episode. They got the idea from me first, though. But, before we get to that, we got two other things to talk about before what we've been playing. First off, Extra Life. On Tap will be participating in the Extra Life charity drive again this year. For those that don't know, Extra Life is where we stay up 24 hours to play video games, raising money for our local Children's Miracle Network Children's Hospital, which will be the North Dakota one here in Fargo, and a bunch of the other Retroids podcasts are participating also. PS Nation, Gamers Only Older, Irrational Podcast, Down to Fort X, and I think a couple others also. And I'll be doing an online stream. Chris and Liz are going to be doing one at their place also. They'll have their own separate stream. If you go to ontappodcast.com, we'll have a link to it, or have it embedded right there on the homepage. I know if you go to retroids.com, they're going to be doing what they did last year, too, and running streams embedded on the homepage also for all the participating podcasts. And it's really cool. I made it the whole 24 hours last year. We raised about $200 last year, so setting a goal of $500 this year. Getting a little ambitious, but, hey, it's for a good cause. And for those that don't know, donating to charity is a tax write-off. You're getting the money back come tax time next year, so you have no reason not to donate.
Way to guilt them, Dale.
That's what we gotta do to help kids out, Matt. It's for a good cause. Matt says he'll punch you in the nuts if you don't donate also.
Oh, wait.
Okay, I'll punch you in the stomach. Donate! Donate! Not
helping children through violence. That's on Tap's motto. That's terrible.
And for those that remember last year, we kind of did little punishments to entice people to donate.
Transformers 3.
Yeah, that didn't happen, Matt.
I know.
We didn't get enough donations. No,
it still happened.
No, what going to be doing is... last year, Chris and Liz ended up playing a game of Madden, and I ended up playing Lord of the Rings Online for an hour, doing their crappy-ass daily side quests, or whatever the hell they're called, and got to stream it online, so everyone got to take in our agony, and I guess for a punishment, what I'm planning this year is to play what critics call the scariest game out there, Amnesia: Dark Descent.
Oh, they were talking about Neopets.
Yeah, that's a close second place.
Oh,
It's Farmville is second place.
Oh, Farmville.
And then Barbie's Horse Adventure, and
Britney's Dance Beats.
Yeah, and then Darren's Dance Grooves. Unreleased version. Amnesia: Dark Descent's going to be playing that. I'm planning to do an hour for every $100 we raise, up to 5 hours maximum for the sake of my sanity, because I've seen YouTube videos of people playing this and people just bashing the buttons on their keyboard and throwing their mouse, getting legitimately freaked out. And Yeah, the game looks all kinds of crazy, serious, scary, not just cheap, ha ha ha, scare flick, but
I don't know.
serious, scary, and I'm a wimp too when it comes to scares. Matt can vouch for this.
Dale jumps when he opens cans of pop.
Yeah, dude, it's bad, I tell you. Jack in the Box. Don't get me started about Jack in the Box. But no, I was playing through Resistance 3.
Restaurant.
When I was playing through Resistance 3 a few weeks ago, there's parts of that game where it turned survival horror-y when I talked about it in my review here a couple episodes ago. And, those parts really had me on my toes, and I was just like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. And, if Resistance does that, I can only imagine how much worse it's going to get with Amnesia, so...
Play Dead Space.
And I'm probably going to start things off with a $50 donation, so we only need at least another $50 to get me to play that game for 1 hour. I'm figure at 9 p.m. I'm going to start it up, and so I'll be playing in the dark by myself, and you guys will be the ones benefiting by taking it all in. And we're going to be starting on Saturday, October 15th at 8 a.m. until Sunday, October 16th at 8 a.m. So make sure to be there and catch all the shenanigans. There's a link up on our forums, too, with all the information, all this information, all the little details for the links and all that for where to donate and where to catch the streams at. So if you go to our forums on Retroids.com, the OnTap forum, I created a thread earlier last week saying OnTap 2011 Extra Life info. So just check that out for all the details. Yeah. So with that out of the way, Matt, what you been playing lately, man?
Gears.
Ears of corn?
No, just ran through Gears of War 1 and 2, started 3, about halfway through it right now, so...
Oh, you're halfway through 3?
Yep, I just started Act 3 today. They were a little bit behind the curve. I mean, I didn't start playing it a couple weeks after it came out, but I figured...
So how do Gears 1 and 2 hold up all these years
pretty
later?
Good, yeah. 1, graphics a little dated, 2 looks a lot better, 3 looks gorgeous. Did notice
a definite jump then in between each game?
Oh yeah, definitely. One thing I really noticed is the ammo conservation between games. Like a lot less ammo, the guns carry a lot less with each passing game. Mm-hmm. And I think towards the third one, you really have limited ammo slots in your weapons. So,
what difficulty have you been playing on them?
Just normal, casual.
Yeah.
Like I want to go through them for the story, and then we're gonna go back through them and do it on a hardcore and insane. So
cool. I know I was in 3. At least it seemed, because it's been a while since I went through the story in 2 and 1. It seems like the enemies take less bullets to put away in 3. I mean, they still take a decent amount.
You have a lot less ammo too, though. So
yeah.
Kind of
true. Yeah.
But that's fine with me. So I do like the.
Because I remember like the first Gears especially, it was like a whole clip. It seemed to take down your average Locust drone.
Yep. But other than that, I've just been playing some GTA 4, which I finally got around to starting a few weeks ago. And I'm not really playing it that often, maybe a couple hours here or there. So,
how does GTA 4 hold up? Because I just went through Red Dead, and I think I remember just briefly throwing in like one of the episodes of GTA 4 expansion packs a few months after Red Dead, and it's like, wow, GTA 4 is already starting to look a little dated. Did you get that feeling at all?
Yeah,
I mean, not like horribly dated or anything, but
I don't know. I haven't been playing as many new games lately, with the exception of Gears, but it looks decent. So,
did you go on the internet?
Did you have multiplayer, you mean?
No, the internet in GTA 4.
No, I haven't.
There's like a bunch of websites and blogs you can check out. You can actually end up spending a lot of time on there. It's crazy.
I played pool a couple times.
You keeping Roman occupied?
Yeah.
You play darts?
Yeah, I took him and played pool a couple times.
Bowling?
I already had sex with my girlfriend on it, so that was. I think that's all I really needed to do in the game, and that's terrible. Like, I was like, wow, that was pretty easy. This is all downhill. So, no, the story's all right for it, but I don't know. I kind of like the other ones better, to be honest with you. I don't know. I hear like Crackdown's more what I'm looking for, or Saints Row. Like,
yeah, it's like GTA 4 definitely took it in a
more realistic,
realistic, serious.
I don't think that's necessarily what I want out of the game. So the story's really good, though. It
took me a while to warm up to it because, like you said, first 3 GTAs on PS2, all the crazy over the top atmosphere.
Yeah, it was fun. It was more of an arcade style game where I'm like, like the story's great, but like I can go take a car and ramp it off something and have fun. Whereas this one, like it's
You gotta watch your turns.
yeah, oh god, yeah,
Yeah, it took a while to adapt to that.
the driving, yeah. But other than that, yeah, I think it's fine. So
yeah, definitely. Saints Row, if you haven't played, those are that style of driving from the PS2 days of GTA 4. The easily to hop in and play, steering, driving, shooting is definitely what you're looking for. Saints Row 1 and 2 especially amps up the...
I have 1 and 2. I bought the combo pack. I just haven't started it. So.
2 definitely cranks up the wacky hijinks, and there's online co-op in it also, and it works great.
And 3, there's dildos, so that's always good.
No, that's in 2 also.
Is there dildos in 2? Well, I'm going to have to play that.
Get your money's worth.
Yep.
Banana Suit Man.
All right.
Hot Dog Suit Man. There's a secret mall, Matt. I can show you where the secret mall is with all crazy secret costumes. And, yeah. Oh, I love I'm psyched for Saints Row 3, man. I actually had to pre-order to make sure to get the stupid man cannon. Or was it the Manapult?
Oh, man.
So you can pick up pedestrians and shoot them at walls and make them explode. You only get it if you pre-order, Matt.
Oh, that's all right.
Freaking GameStop. But, that's all you've been playing?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, for me, Gears 3. More of that. Just doing a lot of... tried out arcade mode a little bit, and versus mode. And I guess I should say, you're wondering... Yeah, last episode I said we were going to get Chris and Liz on to talk about it, do a big old Gears 3 review episode. But unfortunately, they both picked the wrong time to get pneumonia. No, seriously, they had pneumonia. They're just starting to get over it. And we're planning a recording day here in a few days, which we will be completely going crazy over Gears 3 about. And they're like, make sure not to talk about it on the show. You got to talk about it with us. But except competitive multiplayer, because those guys don't play multiplayer. But yeah, which I've mostly been doing is just competitive multiplayer and Horde.
There's Lord of the Rings characters in multiplayer.
Yeah. I should. Yeah. So yeah, a ton of Gears 3. Wait, but Matt can talk about Gears 3.
Yeah, I can say whatever I want.
Yeah. What do you think of it so far, Matt?
I think it's very good. I like the flashback opening, which I'm not spoiling anything here because it's the opening. I think the story is going in a good direction. I like that they added color. There's color in the game, which is nice. It's not
makes it more lively.
You're brown and gray like all the other shooters are. There's nice little touches like the chainsaw. You have to like rev it up, and like you kind of see a lot more. Like I really like the bayonet.
Yes.
It's very satisfying. The sword, although really not a smart choice of weapons, is fun to use and run with. I really like it. I like all the weapons. I like the varied enemies, the new types of enemies. It's a great opening. Multiplayer is pretty fun. I did do some team deathmatch, which I do not play online as often, but I played today, and I played the, what was it, get 10 lives? Get 4 and 4 deathmatch.
Oh, yeah, team
get 10
deathmatch.
respawns. Yeah, I only died twice, and I took out like 6 of the other team's lives.
Oh, shit.
And it was my first time playing, so I don't know. I'm not that good, but whoever I was with was terrible. So.
Well, they try to rank it by your level.
Wow.
Okay. So if it's your first time online,
I was like, I'm like level 5.
Yeah.
So
far, they try to match with similar ranked players. Probably a lot of people hopping online their first time.
Yeah. Well, they were terrible. Like I'm like, even for a first time people, like they were just getting massacred, and I'm like, oh, you guys suck.
Little kids. What's this multiplayer?
No, little kids would kick my ass. These are just people that shouldn't be online, but I don't really say that because I suck generally. But come on.
So yeah, I got to play Burnout Crash.
Ah, nice.
Which is really cool. I mean, it's just like Crash mode from Burnout 3 and Revenge, but they really expanded on it to make it
top down too, isn't it?
Yeah, top down. I mean, at first you take a look at the top down view and you're like, what's this? But it plays just like it. There's there's aftertouch, and then they add this like gimmick to it to where you could keep it going, this meter going, so you could do another crash and crash and crash again until 5 cars get through, or until the stage run its course, because they'll add stuff like a blizzard or a tornado towards the end to give you a big combo multiplayer, and it was pretty crazy. And like I have a bunch of songs, like licensed music playing during it to really hype up like the certain power ups and weather effects, like It's Raining Men plays when there's rain, like stuff like that, just for briefly, not the whole song, but. and like this one song plays every time an ambulance comes out. But yeah, it's actually really cool. Good to play Burnout Crash mode again. I only played it just for like about an hour, so can't really say if I'm like, getting bored of it or if I'm still going to be like totally behind it, a month or two from now. But right now, it's got my attention pretty good. I just only started. I only played the prologue, a little bit past the prologue of Deus Ex: Human Revolution. Coworker borrowed it to me, and I'm really digging the atmosphere and the cyberpunk nature of the world. I really like Shadowrun, so I'm a big fan of cyberpunk, and it's cool. Just it kind of reminded me a little bit of what was that movie we saw where people that collect on people who can't pay off for their
Repo Man.
Was it okay? Repo? Yeah, it reminded me of that movie a
little bit. I
little
was going
to
say Johnny Mnemonic just to mess with you.
Johnny Mnemonic.
But no, it was Repo Man. Johnny Mnemonics, man. Ice-T and Dolphins.
But yeah, they got all the what was it, bionic implants or whatever for like people replacing limbs and all that in the future.
One thing I heard about Deus Ex is they outsourced the boss fights, is what I hear.
Yeah.
Which, that's pretty weird to me. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me. They just released some DLC for that too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. So, I remember seeing, I forget what it was for though, but yeah, they did. I guess they said they didn't have enough time to put them in, and then they saw what they're going for, and they said they wanted to take them out, but they were integral to the story, so they couldn't. I'm not really looking forward to them. Just from the little bit I played of the game, it doesn't really seem like the game that would be about having a boss fight. But
what did you think of Gears' $100 worth of DLC on day one?
Oh, all those stupid weapon skins.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. And the weird thing is, you get a bunch of them unlocked if you play to like Gears 1 and 2, or if you beat them, and then like I don't know when you threw.
Or you played like the PC version of Gears.
Yeah, PC version of Gears. Yeah, Halo Reach did the same thing. It was weird. Like, hey, if you played the original version of Halo on PC, you get this.
Yeah. I'm already against day one DLC, but let alone $100 worth of crap. And like, I understand the story behind it, though. Microsoft, pushed it back so long. I'm sure they had shit, but at the same point, really, like, that's a little excessive when your DLC costs more than the game does. So
actually, I watched a video. This one website bought all the weapon skins, and they're just showing off. All right, let's see if this is really worth this. This is a dumb idea. We do not advise people to do this. And they bought it, and sure enough, it's just a bunch of weapon skins. A few of them actually look pretty cool, but a lot of them are just various slight alterations between camouflage. And
I'm sure people are like, oh, I want this for my gun, but I'm like, honestly, man, like 10 years from now, when you're still playing Gears, like if you throw it in, you're gonna like, oh, I forgot I downloaded those awesome weapon skins. Yeah, that was a great investment of $100. Like,
actually, the one I got for like being Gears 1 and 2 on my hard drive save is pretty cool. There's flaming weapons.
I don't care about any of that.
I mean, yeah, for free, it's like, oh, cool, flaming
free
weapons.
Is all right,
yeah, but like, I'm just like, oh, see this thing I paid $5 for, ain't it
this
sweet?
Doesn't enhance anything in the gameplay. I don't care about it. That's
Yep. All right. Also played Oblivion. I've been playing Oblivion a bunch the past week. Getting psyched for Skyrim.
Has it froze on you yet?
It only froze once.
Oh, okay.
But that's not bad.
I have a cursed friend, by the way. I don't mean to cut into your story here.
Oh, go ahead.
My Fallout 3 story has passed on. I have a friend playing Fallout New Vegas, and he can't get his copy to work.
Oh, I hear Fallout New Vegas is just as worse as 3.
It was one of the people like, I've never had a problem with mine, and now it's not working. So
that's the only thing I'm not looking forward to about Skyrim is Bethesda being
releasing a broken
game.
What?
I already pre-ordered mine off Amazon.com, though I feel I shouldn't have done in hindsight because I'm just thinking I should have waited for the reviews to come out to see which PS3 or 360 version, which one's
that's always the 360 you want to
buggier.
Get. PS3 seems to be buggier in most cases.
Yeah, I remember when Fallout 3 came out, I heard the PS3 version was horrible.
I'm surprised they haven't started charging to provide patches to fix everything with how bad they're getting.
Yeah. So I imagine the 360 version will probably be like 2, 3, 4 discs or something.
I say to hell with Bethesda in general. To hell with them.
I love their games. I can't say that.
I can.
to hell with their acceptance of having
broken games,
too much unpolished gameplay included. Because I understand the occasional glitch, but when your motto is like, all right,
there's a difference between a glitch that is just a part of the game and a game-breaking glitch, like it freezing when you're saving, or it freezing, or you not being able to go to entire areas of the maps, or that's a difference. That's releasing a half-finished game or a broken game, or yeah, it's unexcusable.
Unexcusable. But yeah, I finally got done shutting the last Oblivion gate, or at least I believe I shut the last Oblivion gate, and now I'm doing like this post stuff. Still from the main story where I got transported to another world, but I believe I kind of asked a couple coworkers, and they all say I'm kind of getting right towards near the end of the main quest, and then I saved this Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood side quests to the end just because I figured, oh, that's evil stuff. I'm gonna be evil at the end and make it more fun. Because being good is lame. Not. But let's see here. Wazorb. It's an Xbox Live indie game done with.
Those aren't real games.
But this one actually has some legitimate talent behind it. Has the artist who worked on Scott Pilgrim vs. the World did the graphics for it. So it has that like retro 8-bit NES look, kind of like in between, more like a 16-bit look, and you're like this wizard who turns into a breakout-style paddle. And there's monsters on all these breakout Arkanoid-style fields, and this is pretty much a breakout Arkanoid clone with monsters on there. Occasionally you have to eliminate, and you have special, like, magical attacks. And they add this, like, light storyline, light RPG elements onto it, where you gotta help save this town and repair all its buildings from this disaster that struck it in the beginning, and everyone I talk to in town is like saying, give me money to repair my house, give me money to repair my tavern. I talk to a dog, it just says, woof, and then pay 500 gold to dog? I was like, no. And so it's pretty lighthearted and just like kind of like going for that kind of retro feel with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World or Breath of Death 7. People have played that before, but and I like Breakout Arkanoid. Those games are fine by me, and I like this combination. I guess Puzzle Quest is probably a better analogy, but yeah, I recommend if people at least download the trial and check it out. It's only $3 on Xbox Live Indie Games. It just came out. Wazorb. Almost done with Last Window. Almost done. Hopefully the next time you hear me talk about it, I'll just review it and get it done with. Last chapter, I checked a guide to see where I am in progress, and I'm getting right up till the end. I revisited Death's Bank. Remember Death's Bank, right, Matt?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I played the demo and then I bought it. That's as far as I got.
I think I got like a couple hours into it, and then I was like, yeah. A bunch of other stuff came out. I think it came out during some of Arcade, and it just fell into the backlog. I got a few more hours into it over the last week or two, and I think I still got a lot left in that game. I don't think if I do get around to beating it, I'm not going to get around to playing the Death's Bank 2 or 3 that came out. They pumped out the sequels like that for nothing. Let's see here. MLB 11, the show. I played a game against Scott about a week ago, and I beat him. I came back in the 9th inning, rallied up, and made a game-winning run to win. So, yay me, I guess. Go sports games. I briefly tried out Dragon Age 2. Scott brought that over. He was real high on Dragon Age 2. I know, Matt, you're still going through the first one, right?
It's in my shelf.
I remember always hear you like saying every couple of weeks saying you've been going back to it. I don't know if you're...
No, I look at it and then I'm like, nah.
Are you done with it?
No, I don't know. Maybe
for now.
Yeah. I got bored, man. I don't. Everybody's big on it. I hate queue-based battle systems, so like with a passion.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember Scott loved the first one, and he brought the second one over, and this one's way more action-y. He had me play through like the first hour, like a prologue, I guess, and like the gameplay's all hack and slash. Like I didn't have to pause the menu to cast a magic attack or anything, and it seemed cool, but there's still some RPG elements in there, and it's not like a full-on hack and slasher, because I was like asking, like, all right, how do I do an evasive style roll to get out of the way, because that just seemed like a natural thing to do with the way the hack and slash was playing, and he's like, yeah, you can't do that in here. I'm like, what? And but the story seemed cool. Seeing it had your BioWare trademark BioWare style stories, like branching storylines, like asking like good, positive, or negative style questions, or I guess hero, neutral, and villain style questions is the right way to phrase it. But pretty impressed from the first hour and a half. Tried out the game, but I still haven't even played the first Dragon Age, so I don't even know if I'll ever get around to buying it. I got the first Dragon Age, but when and where, when I'll get around to playing it, no idea. And finally, a little Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Played it online with Biffsticks, actually. Got a chance to talk with him for a while, and we traded a lot of wins back and forth. We had a lot of close matches online, so and I played the arcade mode a couple more times, trying to get that trophy to beat the game with all the characters to see all the endings. I only think I got a few more left, so definitely want to do that before the Ultimate MVC 3 comes out. So yeah, it's my regular long list of what I've been playing. Alright, now before we get on to the N64 Alphabet Soup Retrospective Redo, a few minutes here, not a while, Matt and I the other day saw a oldie but a goodie video game movie.
This is another installment in my shitty movie day or night, depending on what time we do it, where we get a group of guys and drunkenly watch terrible movies, which is relatively successful when it happens, but we started off with a pure stinker yesterday of Double Dragon, which I paid $30.
We started off with that Lego Star Wars thing, which was pretty sweet.
I don't count that though. That's different. Yeah, if you guys don't know, when the Blu-ray of the Star Wars Saga came out, they released the Padawan Menace at Walmart exclusive. Actually, it's just like a CG Lego 22-minute short. Basically, if you like the cutscenes from the Lego Star Wars games, and you like the kind of humor that's in them, and you like Jar Jar dying,
yes,
and then kind of making a joke out of it, then yeah, it's totally worth picking up. But
it's like Hot Shots for Star Wars, but like with the actual Star Wars license, and
yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah,
yeah, it's really good.
Double Dragon though is I think we were trying to do anything other than pay attention to that movie with as bad as it was.
It's like we couldn't even make fun of it. Like have a good time making fun of a bad movie. We're just, I think one of the guys was like getting out there making drinks for half the movie, and
we were just trying to talk about other things, trying to avoid.
One dude fell asleep for like a half hour.
It was Mark Dacascos, who went on to be the Iron Chef host of the United States version, and then Scott Wolf of Party of Five, Alyssa Milano, Robert Patrick, who was coming hot off of his T-1000 performance. Just, it was just a combination of bad plot, bad acting, just everything. The bad special effects is the future of 2007. So
yeah, okay, that was interesting in the beginning, and like it came out in '94.
Yeah, so it was after the big quake.
Apparently, in the year 2007, everyone drives like Oldsmobile station wagons, shooting flames. Powered by trash, shooting flames out of the top of it.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about this. Just I spent way more money on it than I should have, and it's awful. I
remember you were psyched about it. I'm like, oh, deal, I found Double Dragon online.
It was bad.
Man, that movie's not so good.
That's one of those.
I found it.
It's one of those. It reminds me of how bad they were to how decent they are now. Like,
I remember not liking when I first saw it when I was like 10, and
yeah, it was bad then, and it's bad now.
Or I guess 12, and I guess I don't even really remember the NES games that well, so I don't really know much of the story. If they were, the only thing I could tell you is that the main characters are Bimmy and Jimmy Lee.
Bobo.
Ugly. Oh, man.
Ugly.
And if you want to talk about a video game movie with the most gratuitous ass shots.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Even worse than Dead or Alive.
It's pretty bad. I'd put this in on par with Yuva Bull movies, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't do that to many movies, but it was bad. And it wasn't entertaining bad. It was just drain the life out of the party type bad. But
made a dude pass out.
Yeah.
Made us want to talk about anything and get our minds off the movie, and I think it was only an hour and a half movie, and every 15 minutes I was like, is this over yet? I
it just kept going.
Over yet? Poor fight scenes.
So
there's a Double Dragon arcade machine cameo, though, and they end up tipping it over and blowing it up.
Mocking it, yeah.
So, yeah, it sucked.
I was pretty drunk, and that was still terrible. still recovering today, but yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. If you do happen to see this, the DVD's out of print. But if you do happen to see it in the bargain bin or used game shop,
it's running for about $20 to $30 online. But if you can find it cheaper than that, I still probably wouldn't buy it unless you you're collecting your video game movies. So
yeah. I'm going with the. I'm going to go with the 1 out of 10. There isn't anything redeeming about it.
No,
I can usually find something, but not here. All right. N64 Alphabet Soup Retrospective Redo. Okay.
Yes.
Before we hop into our alphabet, Matt, what's your take on the N64 just in general, and where does it stand in your echelon of video game systems as far as favorites go?
I really like the N64. It hasn't aged as well.
Yeah.
I will say that. It's definitely hard to go back and play it. But
at least 3D polygonal games on it.
Yeah, when it came out, I remember I loved it. Like, I got this at launch. I remember I got it around the flood of '97. Actually, it was around that era. Like, I remember the first game I got for it was Star Fox 64, GoldenEye, and stuff like that. Yeah, I played the hell out of it, man. I remember we had a lot of times I just rent whatever games for. Like, I didn't even care what games there were. I just rented them and played them.
It was great that we had a video store within 2 minutes walking distance of your place.
Like a block and a half from my place. Yeah. So
I
just walk over to Blockbuster.
Going to your place a lot during high school. All right, so let's rent a 64 game.
Yep.
Watch some movies. Make a night of it.
I played some bad ones. I played some good ones. So I rented just about everything. So, but no, I had really fond memories of it. It's just kind of hard to go back and play, actually.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for me, N64 was the first system I got as a Christmas present. And it was like I guess you could say sibling present for all me and my brothers, sisters, while it was still in its prime lifespan. I think it was out for a year and a half. Like Christmas of '97, I remember getting it, and we got Mario Kart 64 and Cruis'n USA with it, and a lot of good times. And the thing I remember most about N64 is every weekend, just I think me and my siblings would and parents even too, and we're almost every weekend. Yeah, just make a big family day. I guess you could say it brought the family together, playing a lot of games, which we'll be talking about later, making our rotation, and like you said, man, renting a lot of stuff. I remember getting my first job also a year or two later after we got the system, and ended up buying a ton of games for the N64. So yeah, I mean, like you said, some of the games are hard to go back to, and some, even though the graphics are horrible, I still go back to them at least once or twice a year and have a fun time with them. So.
I remember when we were roommates, too. We actually picked up an N64 from a friend.
Yeah, that's right.
We got a ton of games from him, actually.
I still got that. Yeah. I remember, this one.
It's 20 games we got.
Because I remember I left my 64 with my other brothers and sisters back home. I was second one to move out, and I was just I can't take the N64 with me. They'll kill me.
And then your little brother won a PS2.
Yeah, he won a PS2 a month later from a grocery store raffle, and and then right around the same time, this neighbor is like, "Hey, I'll sell you N64, 4 controllers, and these 12 games for $200 or something."
I thought it was more than 12 games. I thought it was 18.
Yeah,
18 or 20.
it was
a
it
lot,
was a damn good amount of games. Yeah, for around $200. And that time, 64 was still at least it was still in the mix. I mean, it was kind of at the tail end of its lifespan, but it wasn't as out of its run as it is today. But yeah, it was a good deal, and don't regret it. But yeah, and I also think, definitely the first system to really, the 4 console ports included, or controller ports, definitely make it a really good multiplayer system. Probably one of the best multiplayer systems.
Yeah.
So, and I will say, though, I think this system did kind of start a little downward trend for Nintendo, though. with their consoles because they didn't move on along with the times. Made the switch to CDs, and sticking to cartridge alienated it from some longtime publishers like Square. They were working on a Final Fantasy game, and then when Nintendo told them, no CDs, they're like, all right, go into PlayStation. See ya. And other longtime publisher partners like Namco and Capcom had very little support for it and very few games on the system, so definitely it took them a long time to recover. But yeah, let's get started on this alphabet soup. I guess we could just start with numbered games, starting with numbers first.
Well, I only got one, which we would probably share this one, but it's 1080 snowboarding, which we opened the show with. But
that eclectic theme you heard at the beginning.
Yeah, I remember renting this game and loved it. I think this was like my first snowboarding game I ever played, and I
remember loving the soundtrack for it.
I liked this a lot, and it actually kind of inspired me to get SSX Tricky when that came out. And which I love SSX Tricky. I haven't played any other ones, but I really like that one, so kind of have to throw back to this to appreciate it, you know. It
was like one of the first like arcade snowboarding games too. Like, I guess you say like at least in the 3D plane. I think there was like one or two snowboarding games back on the NES days or something. But
I really liked this game back in the day. I couldn't tell you how it is now. I haven't played it in forever. But
I don't think if it wasn't for 1080, there wouldn't be like what was it that Activision one they did for a couple games? Was it Sean White's snowboard?
Sean White, yeah.
And or SSX.
Yeah, dude, and Amped and all those.
What's the letter A?
What do you got?
Well, I kind of wrote down 2 games. I tried sticking to 2 games for each letter. I think some of these we'll have a little more on, but I'm a little unfamiliar with both these games. I guess one is Aiden Chronicles, the first mage.
Is it Aiden Chronicles? Is that what you're talking about?
Aiden. I guess I don't know the official.
I think it's Aiden. Yeah.
Enunciation because it came out towards the end of the N64's lifespan and it was like one of the few traditional Japanese RPGs on the system.
I never played it.
Yeah, I remember seeing it for sale at like MGC. I was thinking of picking it up. I don't know if I want to go back to this era of graphics and stuff. And
like Quest 64. But anyways.
And I guess the other game at least I played, Army Men.
I never played any of those.
Oh god, the Army Men games. Now those games were 3DO was milking the crap out of that license.
Aren't they still milking the crap out of it?
3DO went out of business.
I don't know. They're still making Army Men game, aren't they? Or like
I want to say I think I saw 1 or 2 out for like I think PS2.
I thought they were still floating around, like
maybe. Yeah, I want to say I think maybe on like the handhelds there might have been a couple that kind of sneaked out like under the radar.
Yeah,
like
if I don't play the games, I don't pay attention really.
I think it was like budget publishers were kind of picked up the licensing rights after 3DO went out of business, and like I remember they kind of they kind of had a little bit of a presence in the early years of the PS2, GameCube, Xbox, but like I think after that they just kind of went downhill after 3DO went bankrupt. But I remember like the first one or Army Men. I think it was Sarge's Heroes, the one I played. And then I think I played, was it Air Assault, like a just all aerial combat game. I remember the first thinking the graphical style was cool, but it was before 3DO went overkill on the Army Men license. But I remember like getting pissed off at the controls for it a lot. And I could see why the games were as poorly reviewed as they ended up being. But yeah, that's all I got for A's.
As a precursor to mine, I'm going to say this. Like, I only wrote down games that I actually did play, so...
Where's some of the standout ones?
Well, for A,
yeah.
I only have one.
What's that?
That I played, and that's Asteroid 64, which I did actually play this, and I actually enjoyed it. Just a reimagining of asteroids.
It's like on
3D. Like, you're still 3D, playing top-down shooting, side-to-side. It's just... obviously better graphics than the original Asteroids, but it's the same gameplay, so which I liked. I mean, it's a simple arcade game, so and I'm kind of into the retro games a bit, so it was definitely fun what I wanted out of it. But yeah, Asteroid 64, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, N64 and PS1, they kind of had a little bit of an like the whole retro remake swing was in there.
We're kind of like what we're in now, actually. I'd say like right now because like the Pac-Man Championship or DX edition and stuff like that, like. They're kind of seeing a resurgence in those because of the older gaming fans and stuff. But yeah, I definitely dug Asteroid 64. Like I said, not really any innovations to the gameplay, just better graphics, better sound, that kind of stuff. So,
All right, what? Let's see. Your letter B. I got and some of these aren't all game names. Some of them I just kind of fudged around with the titles a little bit just to help flesh out letters for other names, or just like took an item or character name or accessory also for the N64's legacy here, and mixed them around. But Blitz, NFL Blitz, arcade football came out. I guess you could say probably like one of the best arcade football games ever. Probably made it fun for everyone. I know, Matt, you told me before that you're not a fan of sports games, so this is probably like one of the few you'll play because anyone could hop in and play it.
Yep.
And the hits were brutal, and just of course it's so hard to resist going to get that extra hit in after the play.
Oh yeah, that's perfect for the people that they want to play football games but don't want to learn the intricacies of Madden. And they're still taking a little level of skill to it, but not nearly the learning curve. So
yeah, it's
a pick up and drop game if you want. So
this other one I got is Brood War, which is the expansion for StarCraft and StarCraft 64. I love the PC version of StarCraft, but when I heard there's a 64 version coming out, and I was interested. I'm like, how the hell are they going to pull this off? There's some great FM or CG cinematics in there. I don't think they're going to make this into the game. I know it's. I think the second or third largest N64 game as far as megabit size, and they do fit like one CG cutscene, but it's extremely compressed and grainy looking, and it's just really trimmed down in the opening cutscene, but. If you play it single player, it works. It works pretty good. Like they got both the full stories in there from the original StarCraft and Brood War, but like they really cut down. They got all the. I don't think that all the lines of dialogue. It's just text. There's like unit acknowledgments when you click on the units, but even those are trimmed down too. But as the core action, they have like a somewhat solid functioning control scheme for the N64 controller. And it works. And I remember when I was playing it when I was didn't have access to my computer. I'm like, all right, this works. This is okay. Not great. I was surprised they got multiplayer in there somehow. I think they should have avoided it altogether. But because I remember playing split screen with my brother, and I guess split screen just one-on-one is probably like the only really way of doing it. Because once you start to get a lot of units on the screen in split screen, it chugs. The N64 can barely handle those 2D graphics. And sprites, it's not like they're polygons or anything, too. It's just a ton of crazy units action going on. And I don't know why, but they give you the option to go. It's kind of pointless to do one-on-one because you see what each other is doing, seeing how they're building their bases and units. And I remember one time my brother was building a bunch of huge ships, and there's this one unit I can build which casts a lockdown spell on all mechanical units, so... Like, oh, he's building a bunch of ships. I'm going to make a bunch of these ghost units and lock down all these ships and then nuke them. And I did that, and my brother got pissed off and reset the system. You're cheating! But, yeah. I mean, it was kind of as good as it could do on the N64, but nothing to the greatness of the PC version. But it was cool. It was there, and they did it. Blizzard should do it again with StarCraft 2, and especially Diablo 3. Because Diablo is actually... pretty playable and solid, faithful
I thought
PC
Diablo 3
port.
was coming on Xbox 360.
It's rumored. It's not officially confirmed. There's a lot of rumors pointing to Blizzard job postings and stuff like that, saying it sounds like it's a sure thing, but they haven't officially confirmed it. All right, Matt, what's your B's?
I'll run through mine pretty quick here, but I got Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, which we talked about on our comic book retrospective. It's a very bad game.
No way.
BioFreaks.
I remember BioFreaks.
Fighting game. Is that the one where you can remove your limbs and stuff like that, or was that War Gods? Which I'll also bring that up.
They're both midway 3D polygonal fighters.
There was a lot of these fighting games that they released that were just junk. They were throwaway fighting games. I never bought any of them. I just rented them.
I think they're trying to ride that Virtua Fighter Tekken wave when that was really hitting its stride, and they're like, oh, they don't have Virtua Fighter or Tekken on N64. Let's just throw
whatever garbage we can at
like these 10 other random polygonal fighters.
But Blast Corps, which is a favorite of mine.
It's okay.
No,
it's good.
I think Screw Attack actually did the video game vault for it recently. So
that was fun. Yeah.
Blast Corps, very, very fun game, very unique game on the N64 days.
By Rare.
Body Harvest.
I remember Body Harvest.
Which I played a bit of. I couldn't tell you a lot about it, but I remember I did play it back in the day. I just remember it was kind of a unique game as well. And that's my B's.
Alright. Well, for C, I got two of them. One was the aforementioned Cruisin' USA, one of the first game I got for my N64. I remember they had horrible pop-in.
Yep.
Even with single player. Horrible pop-in, but I still loved it. I love the arcade version of it. And just playing against like my dad. But my dad loved it too. My dad ended up buying a steering wheel for it, and the steering wheel was awful for the N64. Yep. But my dad loved that game. He played it, and he was like, "Dale, I beat it, Cruisin' USA with a steering wheel." I was like, "No way, that steering wheel is horrible." He's like, "No way, I did it. I swear."
I had the same thing. My dad bought it because he's like, "No, it's way better with the steering wheel." And I was like, I didn't want to tell him like it's terrible, but I was like, "Sure, Dad." And then I'd use it to play, and I'd always lose.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, "Thanks, Dad," but
maybe it's one of those things you appreciate the learning curve and you get it down. I don't know. But
no, I still hate steering wheels.
And Conker's Bad Fur Day, my other C.
I never did play it.
I remember being pissed because it was when I wanted to play it right away, but I didn't play it out of spite because N64 games. I remember on the first year or two they're coming out, they were like $70-$80 for like Nintendo published or like real high, high. What's the word I'm looking for? They had a pretty big hype, big release N64 games, but like eventually they got down to the $50 standard for a few years, the last few years of the system. But Conker's Bad Fur Day came out tail end of the N64's lifespan, early 2001. PS2 was already out, and Nintendo priced it at $65. I was just, what? It just wasn't right. But eventually I saw it on sale like later that year for like $30, and I remember, like, all right, I'll get it. I remember it had crazy, silly multiplayer, which I liked, and the story was from Rare. And I remember it was like one of the first games that actually had like A and S bombs in there, and he used F bombs too, but they bleeped it out. And the game was supposed to be like a cutesy platforming game, but they ended up revamping it, making it, giving Conker attitude. And I know they remade it for Xbox. I never played the Xbox version, but it was fun. I never really got too far into it, like several hours into it, but it was a good. Had a good time with it. Matt.
We already brought up Cruisin' USA. I also played World and Exotica, which just, instead of just being the United States, you have the other countries as well, and then Exotica kind of takes it into further into that. There's California Speed, which was like a Cruisin' ripoff when it came out.
Well, I think Midway put that out too.
It played just like Cruisin' USA, but it wasn't part of that series. But also Clay Fighter 63 and a third, which Clay Fighter is kind of a love or hate thing. Like, I liked the novelty of it when I was a kid.
I remember loving the graphics. I remember seeing the screenshots of magazines and thinking, that looks cool.
Yeah, this was a really hit or miss with people. I know a lot of people that hate it, a lot of people that liked it. Like, it's hit or miss. I thought it was fine.
I remember they did a Blockbuster exclusive sequel also.
Did they?
Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut.
Yep, I remember that, yeah.
It was so successful that there wasn't another Clay Fighter game since.
Yep. And that is my C's.
C's. For me, D, got Duke Nukem 64. And I remember this came out before GoldenEye, just by a couple months. I remember summer '97. And I can't remember. I probably played it, or at least I remember playing it before GoldenEye. But and like it was a port of the PC game. But I remember like loving the multiplayer in there because it's 4 player split screen, I think. And just like in the single player story too, the craziness of Duke Nukem, uttering all his Dukeisms and the crazy weaponry and enemies they had, getting lost with all that crazy corridor shooting. I mean, it was just a hit with the family and friends playing multiplayer too, so spent a lot of time with it. And the other D I have is N64 disk drive, which only came out in Japan. Didn't come out in America because it was a failure in Japan.
Was that the one that stacked underneath it?
Yep, stacked underneath it. They had a Famicom disk drive in Japan, which was really successful, and I think Nintendo was hoping for the same success in Japan. Didn't take off. I think only like 10 or 12 games came out for it, and Doshin the Giant. That's all you got to know. There was supposed to be Earthbound 64 was supposed to come out on there. But that got canceled. I was pissed. I love it. That's Nintendo just shaming the Earthbound franchise. All right, Matt, what's your D's?
Well, I also played Duke Nukem 64. Really enjoyed it. It's one of those things I don't think I could go back and play, but I liked it at the time. I also put a Doom 64, which I never owned a PC. like until like after I moved out and everything. But it was the first time I ever got to play Doom.
Was that pretty
on
good?
this.
I don't think I played
I remember I liked it. I mean, back in the day, it was like, I mean, the graphics look like crap now, but back in the day, I really liked it. I still thought it looked like hell back then, but I mean, it's Doom on on a console. So Dark Rift.
Oh, yeah.
another
polygonal
crappy fighting game. Yes, I wrote all these down, but I did play them, and I remember I just rented all of them. I'm like, well, maybe one of them will be good. Yeah, they were.
I think there's a couple decent ones squeaked in there.
I think these are all like, if I went and bought them used right now, they're all like $1 or $2 too, so they're super cheap. But yeah, just Duke Nukem, Doom, and Dark Rift.
All right, E. Well, one thing that stood out right away is the expansion pack, which, for the last couple years of N64 games, if you didn't have it, you're missing out on games having like an optional high resolution graphical setting, which just kind of smooth things out a little more. Or some N64 games adding additional modes of play and stuff.
Yep.
Like if you didn't have it for Perfect Dark, it took away like 90% of the game.
Yep.
Like you couldn't even play the story in it. You could just do 2-player versus that's it. Or like in StarCraft 64, I think you can only do the campaign for the first game and not the expansion, or you couldn't do multiplayer. So some games were crippled, or I think some games like Donkey Kong 64 flat out required it.
Yep.
So yeah,
I actually have Extreme G and Extreme
I was going to say,
G2.
yeah, Extreme G was my other E.
Yep. I don't know about you, but I really like these. Like, I got into the Wipeout games and stuff like that, and I like futuristic racers, and I really enjoyed this. Like the crazy gravity, the fast speeds, the colors, the kind of like futuristic racing vibes off of it. But I really enjoyed these games.
It's too bad the series never really took off. I mean, there was one on PS2, but that was
I think
it.
I owned that at one point, and then I got rid of it. But I don't even remember what that was called.
Extreme G3.
Is that all it was?
I think there was some subtitle to it also, but
yeah, Extreme G was that's the only E I have. But yeah, I really like that.
Okay, F. Forsaken 64.
Yep.
I remember renting that and playing it at your place.
Yep, I played that. Oh god,
I remember some crazy ship control combat. Like,
yeah, it was one of those things. Like, people hated on this game because like the box art was terrible. Like, that's
I
something.
remember the horrible box art.
It was like
some
a girl's
chick.
face with like a sticker on her face and lightning
Yeah.
bolt in the background. It had nothing to do with the game, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
I
this
just
sounds
remember
cool.
we're getting stuck all the time, like trying to drive and shoot.
But the sad thing is, I liked it. Like, I still like it. I don't know. It's a weird, it's such a train wreck of a game that I enjoyed it. So
The other game I liked a lot more, though, F-Zero X. It's still, to this day, my favorite F-Zero game. I always hear people rave about the SNES version more, and I like the GameCube one, too, but something clicked with a N64 version. Played a ton of it. Multiplayer's great. Death Race mode is awesome. And, it seems like just the easiest one to pick up and play all of the entire series. So those are my Fs. You have any others, Matt?
nope, just Forsaken.
All right, G. Let's see here.
Probably gonna share at least one of these.
I don't got anything for G, man. Let's move on. Gauntlet Legends is my first one.
Ah, damn it. Yep, you got both of mine then.
And that was a port of the arcade game. I mean, that was fun hack and slash.
I rented this quite a bit.
Just imagine Diablo, but just with none of the leveling up attributes, special attack stuff. Just straight up hack and slash.
It was isometric too, wasn't it?
It was isometric. Yep, straight up hack and slash. I think some basic spell casting stuff.
Yeah,
I
basically
think.
just a hack and slash, 4-player hack and slash.
And that's why I'm really looking forward to playing Crimson Alliance, because that's what that reminds me of. It has like the graphical fidelity of Diablo or whatever, but it plays like very easy to pick up and play, and just there's some leveling up stuff, but not a ton like in Diablo. So
these games are definitely a lot better with like a multiplayer. Like, it was fun as hell throwing like 4 people and just like fucking.
And I think it's
bullshit and
worth
go for
noting that this was another Midway one, and Midway was really hitting its stride
Yeah.
this era. Porting it was like their last gen of arcade games, but all their arcade games are just right on the money. Fun multiplayer, fun, easy to pick up and play. It's too bad Midway went down the road it did. But other G here, gee, man, I don't know. A little game, something called GoldenEye 007. It only revolutionized first-person shooters on console forever.
Deathmatch.
4-player deathmatch was a hit. Holy crap.
Yeah, I
With the
spent some
family.
time with this, yeah.
And not only was a 4-player deathmatch, it had made it like almost a standard feature for all first-person shooters on console and wherever. It also, I think, was a really good step up for like the story mode in first-person shooters, because I remember like Doom and Duke Nukem. The only thing you really got for story for those games was just
Here's
all right.
Bad guys kill them.
Here's the bad guys, kill them. Find a switch card.
Yep.
Or key card, or hit this switch. And that was it. And I think GoldenEye was the first one I remember there being like dialogue during missions, like little dialogue cutscenes, like a halfway point during missions, and like you get timed objectives to do and other like varied objectives during gameplay, and just like the story was great. And especially for a movie license game, when you're considering it, still to this day, the cliches and stereotypes of movie license games, how horrible they typically are, and Rare, again, another Rare developed game, took their time making this one. I think it came out like a year or two after the movie hit, if I remember right, and it was so successful they tried, I guess EA tried making a GoldenEye game called GoldenEye Road Agent, had nothing to do with the movie. And now Activision came out with a Wii remake, and now it's getting re-released on PS3 and 360 this holiday season, GoldenEye, which is like their reimagining of the GoldenEye story, but with
Daniel Craig
in it, and they like kind of redid some of the levels in the game.
I guess that has that it's getting mixed reviews. Wasn't the Wii version?
I remember like it seemed like
it
people.
Mixed to good.
It seemed like it was not great, but kind of like kind of in between mediocre and great.
Mixed to good.
Yeah. Like it sounded like it was good, but with faults.
Yeah.
I don't know, Matt. You got anything to add about GoldenEye? I remember we played.
I think we've talked about this so many times. Everybody knows. True. Like you gotta be living under a rock if you never heard of GoldenEye, or at least talked about it, or even let alone played it.
It's a little hard to go back to today. I heard some. I can't remember if you told me you went back to when you like going back.
I can go back to a lot of these games, but the
single player you can go back to. But like I remember going back to multiplayer a few years ago, and it's just the frame rate makes it almost unplayable after getting used to being spoiled to games like Call of Duty constantly running in 60 frames per second. But I remember like 2-player split screen match. You smoked me with complex level and rocket launcher.
Oh, I just remember
that was your thing. Complex with rocket launchers. I love Temple with grenade launchers.
I remember I got to the point where I just was dominating everybody, and I think there's like one person that I could never beat. But I just remember out of our group of friends, I played it so much. I pretty much owned on that game. But that's all I got for that.
It's your only G?
Legends.
We had both the same two?
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah. All right. We're broskies, man. All right. H. Oh, man. I had to really dig for H. I haven't played either of these two games.
Well,
I remember seeing footage and reading, because I was drinking the Nintendo Kool-Aid, had my lowest subscription to Nintendo Power, so I remember the coverage of them. Hercules, The Legendary Journey.
Ugh.
Based on the hit syndicated late-night TV show. I don't know if Bruce Campbell's in the game or not. I can't say. Haven't played it. And Hey You Pikachu.
I don't think Bruce Campbell was in Hercules.
Nope, he was. I read his autobiography. I remember him saying he was in both Hercules and Xena. He was a recurring character in both TV series.
I never watched either of those, so you could be right.
No, I know I am, because I read his book, and he talked about how the lead actor of Hercules broke down after they shot the last scene. Everyone was like, this is a good thing.
Okay.
But yeah, Hey You Pikachu. I guess the only thing I got to say about Hey You Pikachu is it was a microphone game where you commanded Pikachu around Seaman style on the Dreamcast. But yeah, so imagine how well that went over. But I remember my old people I used to write on a video game website with, John, who actually was on a lot of the early episodes of On Tap here. He has the Hey You Pikachu edition of N64.
Oh god!
They got an special. I think it has Pikachu, a big old Pikachu little figure.
Yep.
Just emblazoned right onto that N64, and yeah, it looks ugly as hell. You look up some Google images. That thing is that be ugly, yo. All right, Matt, what do you got for H?
Hexen. That's one of them.
Yeah, I remember,
Hexen's another
first-person
shooter.
Screenshots, yeah.
I played the hell out of this. It's just one of those. I actually had this one.
Wasn't that more like a medieval style game though, or something?
Yeah,
fantasy.
Still a first-person shooter, but yeah.
I remember always wanted to play. I remember seeing Nintendo Power covers.
Pick it up, man. It's like $3.
Like maces and
$3,
spells and stuff.
Hybrid Heaven.
I remember Game Informer just did a replay with it.
I actually did play this. I remember playing it back in the day, and I remember playing it for quite a while, and I don't remember much of the gameplay because God, that was over 10 years ago.
I just remember games where like they show the opening,
the naked dude. Yep.
Yeah, the opening cutscene, which is super long, especially for that era.
I think I skipped it every time I played.
And it was all sorts of crazy.
Hydro Thunder.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Which I was big into the arcade version of this. But
I played it more on Dreamcast, if I remember.
But I did play this on the N64, so and that is my H's.
Hydro Thunder Hurricane. I need to go back and play that. That was fun. Except for some of those evil timed races.
Yeah.
Alright, oh man. Again, this is one I had to dig for. Didn't play either of these games, but Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine.
Nope.
What?
Nope. That's terrible. I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh, you played it?
No, I'm not. No, I didn't. I refused.
But I remember it was. Why do you refuse to play?
I don't know, because it's terrible. I heard about it.
Oh, I remember it was a Blockbuster exclusive when it was released.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you know it's good.
Yeah, I remember because it came out towards the end of the N64's life cycle. I guess I don't get why publishers do that for video games. They're going to release it as at least in that time frame, a video store exclusive. You think they want to sell copies, make some money back, unless Blockbuster gave them like a good deal on it or something.
Blockbuster knows how to get the great business strategies at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Added to their longevity.
And the other game I got is International Superstar Soccer Series, which they had the Superstar Soccer 64, 98, and 2000. There's 3 of them, and those were by Konami, and they later ended up being renamed to Winning 11 Soccer, and renamed again in recent years as Pro Evolution Soccer. So I remember even in that time frame, Konami had a good rep for soccer games. So those are the only things I got for eyes. What about you, Matt?
I don't actually have an eye, but wasn't there also an International Track and Field?
Yep.
Because I think I may have played one of those, but I didn't want to write it down. So.
Yeah, I try to look for stuff I played at least put on here, but I couldn't. Eyes is one of those when you start to get into it where there's only a few games and.
Yeah, there's like another game. I think it was the Winter Olympics. Was it the Nagano Winter Olympics?
Yeah.
I remember I played that one, but not that has any. But I didn't write that down. So.
Yes. All right. So that's all you got then.
Yep.
Jeopardy. I played a ton of Jeopardy actually.
I think I played Jeopardy with you, but I couldn't remember.
I remember really liking it at the time because it was like the first Jeopardy game to have like actual full motion video of like Alex Trebek like introducing the questions and daily doubles and stuff like that. And I think it was like the first one too that like auto suggested answers for you or questions. And it's Jeopardy. I mean, but I remember it was a hit with my family because with my dad he watched Jeopardy at the time. But the other one I got is a character from a game. Jumpin' Jim Rivers. Fictional motorbike racer from Excite Bike 64. Oh. I just remember that announcer, he'd say the name of all the racers in that game, and the name Jumpin' Jim Rivers always stood out.
I can't remember if I played Excite Bike or not. I was looking at that and I was like, I don't know if I want to write that down. But
I remember renting it, and I remember thinking it was okay at the time. I remember hill climb. There's an infinite hill. You had to keep going up to see how high you can make it. No, that was fun.
I did not write it down, but I didn't have anything for Jay. But Jet Force Gemini. I can't remember if I played it or not.
I remember that. That's another rare game. If I remember right, I remember briefly playing it once. If I remember right, I believe it mixed first person and third person gameplay.
I can't remember if I played that one or not, so I don't want to write it down for sure. But yeah, I didn't have anything for Jay outside of that.
Okay, K. This is one I had to write down to I haven't played, but
I got some for this.
I'll go with Killer Instinct Gold.
God damn it, that's one of mine. You probably put my other one too.
I never played it, but I do have a good memory of it.
It's Killer Instinct.
Well, I never played the first Killer Instinct either.
Did you play any Killer Instinct?
Or at the arcade? None of them.
Oh.
I wanted to. I just never. I just don't think I happened to ever seen a copy for. I probably in recent years seen it, but like at least when the N64 is around, don't really recall seeing a copy. You need to go pick this up and play it. I kind of want to, but because I remember my memory of it is subscribing to Nintendo Power once a year. They always gave away like summertime like some promotional VHS tape, and I still have them. You can find them on YouTube now. But like some 10-15 minute video where they promoted games, and usually they had some like cheesy ass acting along with it. And they had one for the N64 launch coming up, and it was just promoting like a few games, and at the end they had a big montage of like upcoming games, and then they had the credits roll, then after the credits, there's like a bonus little clip of Killer Instinct Gold, and they played this awesome like little rock metal theme showing clips from the game, and I'm like, holy shit, this looks awesome.
Hyper combo.
This looks awesome. I gotta get this. This looks great. And I never ended up trying it. So that's my memory of Killer Instinct Gold. What do you got to say about it since you played it?
I like Killer Instinct, man. It's sad that they haven't made another one since then, but yeah, we need to pick that up, dude. We need to play that. That's one of those ones that's worth going back for.
Man, do it for Extra Life. For the kids.
I don't care about no kids. That's terrible. I'm sorry.
That's it, Matt. Donate. Give me your credit card. We're
I don't have any
this
money
in.
on that. What is this? I'm broke.
That's impossible.
We fail English. All right.
What other Ks do you got?
Did you cover your second one?
Oh, no. Kirby 64, The Sacred Shards. 2D side-scrolling Kirby game on N64. I remember it's trademark Kirby action from what I remember reading about at the time. Never played it, so I really couldn't tell you anything more than that.
Yeah, I haven't played a Kirby game. I have one, but I haven't played it.
I just picked up Kirby Mass Attack on the DS, and that just came in the mail the other day, though. So I'm looking forward to trying that one out.
I have Epic Yarn. I just never started it. But.
Unacceptable.
Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfist.
Slugfist, huh? Is he knocking you out?
Slugfest.
Fist.
Oh, you're gonna hit a Slugfist. Anyways, no. I remember I used to rent this. Another thing, I don't play sports games, but I remember I rented this and we just do like the home run derby type gameplay in it, and that's all I did. I remember I just stay up on Friday nights playing this. I rent it every once in a while.
I remember reading the coverage about this in Nintendo Power, and they're like, and with the power of the N64's controller, the C button's activated all the bases you can throw to once you catch a ball for ease of throwing or extra precision when fielding. I was like, oh, that sounds really intuitive.
Yeah, but that's my keys.
Okay. All right. My L's. I got Lego racers. I remember being a big fan of Legos in the day, and I was like, oh, you can build your own race cars. Cool. I never really played. I remember just renting it once and just briefly playing it. And, of course, we'd be remiss not to mention The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
And Majora's Mask.
I never played Majora's Mask.
But you gotta bring them up. That's like two of the system sellers right
I never played Majora's Mask. I heard it sucks. Nah, just kidding.
Actually, I do hear it sucks from some people.
No, I heard very love-hate things about that game. But no, Ocarina of Time, I mean, holy crap. I remember me and you, like, kind of playing
I've never finished it. I've just...
Playing through, like, the first, like, Young Link part together. And then, unfortunately, I remember Joey, my brother, we're playing through this at the time, and he beat it before me. He kind of took over my save file and finished the game without my consent, damn it.
I'd say the only opportunity I ever had to play was I'd rent it, and I going to school, just played it when I could, and I always have to return it. And obviously, when you're renting something, they're gonna, delete your save file or play over it, and just never got around to finishing it. Actually, now I might get a 3DS just to play it. In all honesty, but
I do remember watching my brother beat the final boss, because I remember I'd just watch him play. I'm like, oh, this might over know what's going on. You got all these new boots and stuff, and because I think, like, after he turned to Adult Link, I played a little bit. I think, if I remember, he was still having trouble on the boss battles, so I'd beat the bosses for him as Adult Link, but he'd play the rest of the game, and I remember just loving from what I played of it. I want to go back and play it. I got the re-release on GameCube, but yeah, Ocarina of Time, it's definitely probably my favorite Zelda game. What about your L's?
I actually don't have any L's other than Legend of Zelda, the two of those. So
I get an L. You're a liar.
No.
You just said Legend of Zelda.
You want me to jump to M? I can take M over. I got a lot of M's.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I was going to start at the top here. Mace the Dark Age.
Oh, Mace.
Hey, look at that. Another fighting game. I'm going to skip on. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3, which franchise is still going, I believe.
No,
Kinda
yes
taking a
and
break
no.
right now?
I think I heard they got another one in the works finally, but like
Take a little hiatus there.
Yeah, they were releasing these every year for like up to like Mario Party 8.
I remember
on Wii,
2 and 3 are the ones I like the most out of all of them. I got a couple of the other ones.
I got 2. I remember
and
we
2
played
and
a
3.
lot of back when we were rooming together. We played a ton of Mario Party 2.
That is a lose friends kind of game, actually.
I wish they just made it so where it was like they just gave you a point tally and star tally just based off the minigames. The going around the board stuff sucks.
Like somebody always gets screwed over in the game, but that's good times there. Mario Tennis. which I was a fan of. I don't know if you were.
I played the Game Boy Color version, but not N64.
I did like the N64 version. A movie tie-in, Mission Impossible.
Oh.
I remember playing this briefly, and I got stuck in the one scene where you have to drop down into the room and not touch the floor. I don't remember much about this game, mind you, but I just remember I hated it and it was terrible. So I'll move on to Mortal Kombat 4.
Yep, I remember that.
Which is actually a good fighting game on the system.
I remember the first polygonal MK game.
Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero.
A very horrible Mortal Kombat game.
Yes.
Oh, God. Where they tried to make it a RPG, but still kind of be a side-scroller with some of the MK fighting mechanics.
Yeah, this game was notorious. Still not as bad as the Jax game that came out on the PlayStation 1, but...
I remember it was so bad, like I said, I remember being a loyal subscriber to Nintendo Power back in this day. It was like the only game in Nintendo Power, when Nintendo Power was running on a 10-point scale, they rated like lower than a 5.
Yeah.
And that was bad, because Nintendo Power rated everything high. I think they gave Sub-Zero, if I remember right, they gave that 3.2.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's saying something.
And also, Mortal Kombat Trilogy came out.
Yeah, I remember we played that one a bit.
Yeah, played that one quite a bit. And then finally to end my M's, which I probably stole all yours, actually.
Yeah, you did.
MRC Multi-Racing Championship, which kind of a rally racing game, if I remember right. Kind of a basic racing game, but I still played it. I used to rent everything, so...
Yeah.
Any thoughts on any of the ones I threw out there?
I already chatted about Mario Party, the MK stuff. I remember liking 4 for the time. I don't know if I'd like it now, because I remember it wasn't like a true 3D fighter. I think you could sidestep, but you couldn't like move around in 3D. Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right.
All right. And well, I'll throw this out just to get it done with. I know I mentioned both of these on the show numerous times before, but for newer listeners, let me tell you a tale of a game called No Mercy. No, just kidding. No, yeah, like I said, it's still my favorite wrestling game to this day. It's one of the ones I still go back and play once or twice a year with buddies. And at MGC, if you go to our OnTap website, ontappodcast.com, we did a tournament, 8-person tournament this year. Filmed the whole thing, threw it up on our website, and had a blast doing it. I've been doing like tournaments for it at the Midwest Gaming Classic each year, like the past 3 or 4 years now, and the game is still the best playing wrestling game in my opinion. Definitely doesn't look the best, but especially nowadays. But it's just great, straight up fun wrestling. No one has matched it since, and the other end I got is I know Matt and I constantly disagree on this. The new Tetris, my favorite Tetris game of all time.
No.
First 4-player Tetris game, and it was probably because I had a lot of good multiplayer memories with it. My dad ended up just being crazy good on this game. They had like little leaderboards. They would save your high scores and like for all the various types of mode. And my dad would always get all these ridiculous high scores. And I remember once I cracked the high score list at like number 7 for one. And my dad kept playing that mode until he knocked my name off the list. And it got to the point where he'd play that game, he couldn't talk to him. He was just in the zone when he played. And many great memories playing new Tetris.
Well, I want Tetris, and I'll talk about it later.
No, you won't.
All right, so is your ends there?
Yes.
NBA Jam 99-2000.
Oh yeah.
NBA Jam.
No, they weren't. I don't think they were the same NBA Jams of old. Because like Acclaim took over making them, and
I played them though. It's NBA Jam.
Because I remember, Midway, the guys that made the original NBA Jams, went on to make NBA Hangtime on N64, which played more like the Jam we knew and loved. And the ones made by Acclaim were just different playing games.
Yeah, I played them.
But weren't they like 5-on-5?
I don't remember. But I played them. I just saw NBA Jam and I played it. I didn't care.
Oh, okay.
And you already covered NFL Blitz. And another different one I have is Nuclear Strike, which was part of that Soviet strike, Nuclear Strike. I remember I played this a lot. I actually believe I still have a copy of this on the Saturn, I want to say. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was my answer. I didn't really have a lot.
Alright. Oh. Well, the one you mentioned before, Olympic Hockey Nagano 98. That was Midway using its Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey engine, which was really popular, which we'll probably get to talk about later, and just putting an Olympic license on it. They were kind of milking it for what it was worth at the time. And Ogre Battle 64, Person of Lordly Caliber. I remember renting this, thinking, oh, cool, RPG on N64.
It was a tactical RPG.
Yeah, it was a tactical RPG. I'm like, wow, I'm not used to this style of game. Yep. And I think I only played it for a few hours. I just couldn't really, when I was, I guess, that young, couldn't really comprehend it. And I guess if I took the time, I would have. But I guess I just didn't have the patience for it, is the better way of saying it. But I guess I appreciate the Ogre Battle games for what they are and what they led to the birth of tactical RPGs as we know it.
Yeah.
So, what's your O's?
I only have one, and that is Off-Road Challenge. I played that. Just another racing game.
Rally. I think it wasn't supposed to be like Super Off-Road in 3D.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I love Super Off-Road. That's what they should bring back, Super Off-Road.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that at the arcade, the red, yellow, and blue. Oh, man.
Still got for Nintendo. It's great.
Nice.
Okay. P. Oh, boy. Pokemon Snap. I'm putting this because I remember, I think my brother bought it because, he's young at the time. He's the perfect age group for the Pokemon craze. It was the first Pokemon game on N64, first one released outside of handhelds. And I just remember it looking great because I just watched them play, and you're just on this on-rail, little roller coaster cart taking pictures of Pokemon, doing whatever. You just got graded for taking photos. That was it. But I remember just watching them play for little periods and going, wow, these look really good. Why the hell are you guys playing this?
I remember the demo was at Blockbuster. Like, you go to Blockbuster, you could play Pokemon Snap and make stickers or something, and I was like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah. And the other one I got is another goodie from Rare, Perfect Dark. And I remember being really psyched for it because this was pretty much Rare saying, hey, we're going to make the first-person shooter we wanted to really make, but we were restricted by the GoldenEye license. This is going to be M-rated, and so there was blood spewing out of guys when you shot them, and the violence is really up there and a lot more darker toned. And I remember the story was kind of crazy because it involved rescuing the president and aliens getting involved, and it was just all crazy types of sci-fi. But I remember the multiplayer action was where it was at, and I played a ton of the multiplayer. A lot of great weapons in there.
I don't know what the name of it, the one that could see through walls.
The Farsight.
Yeah, there you go.
Farsight, yeah. And the grid, love that level. Matrix-inspired grid level. Oh, man. So many good multiplayer memories of the game, and then Rare went all out with the multiplayer with stat tracking and player customization, save profiles, multiplayer challenges against bots, and adding bots into the multiplayer. Just so much stuff you can do into it. It's too bad it came out just a few months before the PS2 came out, because then I moved on to Time Splitters right away, which was a really, really way better multiplayer experience. All right, and I think those are my P's.
Paper Mario, which is a fun game, definitely a fun game. I played a little of it, not enough to give it any kind of a long story of it. I actually played it recently. I picked this up because I got the pretty much every game in the Paper Mario series.
But spiritual successor to the N64 games, they say.
Or
just Mario RPG.
Yes,
that's what I meant.
Basically, since Square left, I guess they take some of the characters from the Mario RPG. Also, Pilot Wing 64, which is one of the first games I rented. And I remember I rented it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? But I
never played the first one?
No, I never did. I ended up actually kind of digging it. It was kind of a weird game, and I didn't mind it. But that was my P's. I don't have much to say about them, but I got Perfect Dark as well. But Pilot Wings, that's the one, and they're still making Pilot Wings games, so 3DS. So
it's true. I got 2 Qs actually. I didn't even really have to dig for these 2. I played both of these quite a bit. Quest 64. I remember renting it, thinking, oh, are these RPGs they say are big on the PlayStation I'm missing out on. Let's rent one of these. And I remember renting Quest 64. I remember liking Quest 64. I remember that game gets a lot of flack, but I remember really liking the fighting system for it. I remember Game Informer Game Informer on their website. Yeah, they did replay, and I watched it, and it all just came back to me. They had like the octagonal grid fighting system. It was turn-based, but yeah, stay within a grid, and it moved pretty fast. And yeah, you can walk around in the grid.
That's the same with Hybrid Heaven on it too, isn't it?
What's that?
That's the same replay with Hybrid Heaven on
it.
Yep.
Yeah, if I remember, Hybrid got the replay roulette.
Yep.
But I remember liking it for the time. I wouldn't say it was great, like this epic, Square-esque caliber story, but I remember being fun to play, I remember really digging the fighting. I don't really remember much about the story, but the other cue I got is the NFL Quarterback Club series, and I remember really liking NFL Quarterback Club '98 because I remember the first 2 football games to come out on N64 was that and Madden 64, and Acclaim somehow managed to pay the NFL more money to get the rights to the NFL license on just the N64 that year. Madden still had players, but Quarterback Club still had the teams. I'm like, well, I gotta go with Quarterback Club then. And usually I was the Madden guy, but I remember really liking the graphics on that version and had like commentary, and I remember just like, wow, this is a big leap up for football. And I remember liking it a lot, playing it a lot for the time, and then I remember renting a Quarterback Club 2000, and it was just not the same game anymore. And like Madden got a lot better at franchise mode, and like I think it switched developers at that time, and I think they added a catch button. You actually had to press a button to catch a ball for every single pass. It just did not work. So yeah, those are my cues.
I only actually had one, and it's Quake 64.
Quake. Oh yeah, I remember playing that.
I did play that. It's Quake. I really got nothing to say about that. So.
Yeah, way better on the PC, but hey, they managed to make it for systems.
Man.
Yeah,
If you have a PC, what are you gonna do?
The thing I remember about Quake was Railgun. I remember liking that. Yep. And the 9 Inch Nails of the soundtrack.
Yes. Which I have bootlegged. Yay, bootlegs.
Mad, they're imports.
Yes, that's what the store that I bought it from calls it as an import. I'm just like, hey, I don't have to do anything illegal. I'm just purchasing this. So.
Yes. All right. R's. I guess I got 3 R's.
I had 5.
1 game and 2 other things. The first one I already mentioned a few times. Rare. I'm mentioning them because they were like, they really carried the N64. Sure, Nintendo was there to develop their trademark Legacy series games with their Marios, Donkey Kong 64. Rare did Donkey Kong 64. Take it back.
Bring that up.
Yeah, that was the first Rare developed Donkey Kong. Oh wait, no, they did the Super Nintendo games. I take it back.
Deal.
I caught it 3 seconds later. Okay.
But I hate that game actually. Donkey Kong 64. I didn't bring it up. I played it.
Well, I stayed away from some of the Rare platformers later on because I remember they were notorious for being like the Banjo-Kazooie games too, like being notorious for being way too heavy on the pickups. Collecting and pickups. So I stayed away from them. But I remember I loved their shooters, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, and the other ones we addressed. Blast Corps, and they pumped out so many games it was crazy. That I can't believe they made as many as they did. They're releasing like 2 or 3 hits a year almost. Yeah. Other thing I got is a Rumble Pack. And I guess I remember the Rumble Pack a lot too because it came with, I guess the game we'll be talking about later, Star Fox 64.
Yep.
And that was featured, the Rumble Pack and Star Fox 64 were featured on another like a Nintendo Power subscriber VHS tape I have. YouTube the video, Nintendo Power Star Fox 64.
If you think about the Rumble Pack, like revolutionized games too, because basically every system since then
has Rumble.
Major system has a Rumble kind of feature in their controller. So,
yeah, I mean that was a big deal. And I remember reading about the time, like, well, that sounds like a gimmick. You can feel the game, but no, yeah, they're right. It feels like different now. I remember like the first few PS3 games I played before they added Rumble, and it's like it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
but. And I guess the game I got for R is Road Rash 64.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It's still my favorite Road Rash game of all the Road Rash games. Remember you could drive off course and go crazy. You could do wheelies over vehicles, oncoming, offcoming traffic. I remember playing a ton of multiplayer racing. And just, I remember there's some races in the story mode where it was just like 8 people on bikes, but like so there was like 10 cops chasing you throughout the whole track, and eventually just came down to like all the other guys getting busted, and it was just you and the cops just having a blast with that. And gosh, yeah, a lot of good times with Road Rash 64. It's still my favorite out of all of them. But what about you, Matt?
All right. Well, Road Rash we already mentioned, which I love the Road Rash series in general. God damn it, they need to make a new one. They need to make
why? EA likes to make money.
Just
right?
make a DLC title or downloadable title. Yeah. Don't dress it up any different. Just better graphics, licensed songs, and same gameplay. I will pay money for it. I don't care.
Make sure you have Sugar Ray in the soundtrack again.
God.
No, it was a good soundtrack. Do this with me, machine.
Rampage World Tour, Rampage 2 Universal Tour, Rampage. It's Rampage, man.
I remember playing that.
We're talking.
Grand Forks has a level.
Yep.
Air Force Base.
So Robotron 64, which wants to ring a Rampage, is another remake of an older title.
And Robotron.
Robotron, another remake of an older title, which is a really weird game. I remember renting it and going, what the hell is this? And then a sequel to another game, and I'll be bringing up here in a second, is Rush 2 Extreme Racing USA.
Oh, yeah, the Rush games.
Which were just really ridiculous. I remember the jumps and stuff that you could do in it. I enjoyed these. So, but yeah, that's my R's.
Okay. S.
I got a lot of these.
Well, I only picked 2, Matt.
Oh, I'll run through mine quick.
Super Smash Brothers.
And that's not mine.
Oh, it's not?
No,
wow.
I never played it.
Played a ton. I remember this was a hit, too, among, back when we were sharing an apartment, had a bunch of people over on a regular basis.
Remember, I never played it because I hate these games. I hate Smash Bros.
Dude, you're missing out. Just because people get cheap with the hammer.
TMNT Smash Up, that's where it's at.
Okay. Okay. Stupid.
No, that was bad.
Okay. Yeah, Super Smash. I mean, what can you say about it? Yeah, it's the first 4-player brawler to really great multiplayer game, and many good memories playing it. Long live Kirby. Superman 64. I guess it was just called Superman, but everyone refers to it as Superman 64. Yeah. This game is horrible, and
we've talked about it.
We talked about it before. Fly through the rings. Just try. I made it. I think
we made
third
some progress in it. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I was thinking of making it part of the Extra Life Challenge too at one time, playing it. All right, if you guys donate $20, I'll keep playing this for a half hour. I think I may do something like that for Extra Life. See enough people in the chat room. Well, I want to start off Extra Life like I did last year, playing No Mercy on N64, trying to beat the survival mode, and probably failing at it again towards the very end. And hopefully, maybe get enough spur of the moment donations, get me playing the horrible controlling, very, very controller throwing prone Superman 64. It's that bad. All right, Matt, what's your laundry list of S's?
All right, well, I talked about Rush 2. It's San Francisco Rush and 2049, which was the third in the series, which, like I said, I liked all these. Kind of just over-the-top racing. They were all right.
And I guess it's worth mentioning, if you have a PS2 or Xbox, they got Midway Arcade Treasures 3, which I believe have all 3 Rush games on there.
It has Hydro Thunder on there as well.
Yep.
Super
Off-Road.
Shadow Man.
Oh, yeah.
And the first games I remember swearing in, which we've discussed this on the comic book podcast. South Park. And it actually had 3 games. Chef's Love Shack.
It was a trivia game.
The regular South Park game, and there was also a racing.
South Park Rally. I remember about regular South Park, I remember 2 things about it. It being the first game to have voice acting, where they have the characters' lips moving and syncing up with the voice acting. And I remember the yellow snowballs.
Yep.
I actually remember liking that game.
I did like South Park, too, at the time. That was perfect for my age. Spider-Man, which we've also brought up, and then Star Fox 64 we recently talked about, which I love the shit out of Star Fox. I think my Nintendo actually came with Star Fox.
Yeah, Star Fox 64 was out. Multiplayer was great. I remember watching you beat the game and just being amazed.
I beat that game so many times, the different paths and stuff you can take in it. But
it's only a 2-hour game, right?
Oh, dude, I beat it I didn't even care that it was a short game. I just kept playing.
I mean, just for that type of game, that's perfect.
Yeah. Star Soldier: Vanishing Earth.
Oh wait, man, I got something to bring up to you about Star Fox 64. I was reading every now and then Nintendo sends these weekly emails. I'm on their mailing list, and they have this thing called Iwata Asks. Iwata is one of the head guys at Nintendo, and they interview him every week. And the topic of the week was Star Fox 64 3D, and they were talking about the future of Star Fox, and they're like, all right, well, this is where the future of Star Fox lies is in this game. We took chances on Star Fox before, and if this doesn't sell well, it'll be a while before you see another Star Fox game. So, Matt, you gotta support it and buy it, even though you don't have a 3DS.
No, I actually thought about getting a 3DS for this. Between this and Ocarina,
Well, that, yeah, and Tetris Axis kind of came out of nowhere. I was reading the coverage and seeing footage of that, and that actually looks like a pretty damn good Tetris game. Like, the 3DS library is really starting to shape up this last month or two.
Yep. Star Soldier Vanishing Earth. Star Soldier was actually an NES game that I really liked as a kid. Like, I had like kind of a weird assortment of NES games that like we'd find at garage sales and stuff.
Oh, I remember we rented this and we beat it in a day.
I like Star Soldier, so I remember playing this.
I played it at Extra Life last year, actually. I got up to the final boss and couldn't beat him. I was pissed. I ran out of lives, man.
Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, just pod racing, which I actually still have that. I
remember they made a big deal about this game because it was the first movie licensed game. This is a horrible racing game.
I know. I like that game, dude.
I couldn't get I remember I couldn't get used to the steering in it.
Oh, I like it. Star Wars Rogue Squadron. It's the flight game. Oh, that's good stuff.
Based off the Battle of the Hoth level and Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire.
I remember I love that Battle of the Hoth level.
Dude, I still go back and play Shadows of the Empire. Like, I love Shadows of the Empire.
I remember playing, like, a lot of other parts of that game, but I remember for the most part I just kept going back to that Battle of the Hoth level and just had a blast wrapping up the
AT-ATs, yep.
AT&Ts, yes, wrapping those up.
Super Mario 64, you'd be not mention that. I mean, that was a system seller, so I think that came bundled with majority.
I don't believe I played it for more than probably like an hour.
Really?
I think I remember playing it a couple times at like at school functions. They had this school like activity day where they had an N64s hooked up. I remember playing Super Mario 64 on that like once or twice, and I think that's the only time I've ever played it.
Oh, my other one was Superman 64, which we already covered. Oh god, it's terrible. But that's my giant list of S's.
Okay, T's. I got 2 games.
6.
I've been trying to stick to 2 games.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, I guess one's kind of a lie. I just put Turok Trilogy. I guess there were 4 games.
Oh, wait, I have more than 6. Never mind, yeah.
I guess there's 4 Turok games. One was Rage Wars, which was just like a spin-off multiplayer themed game. But the Turok 1, 2, and 3 were all exclusive to the N64, treated as big deals. And I remember the first one especially got a lot of good praise because it was like a first-person game, and it was kind of like a few months. It came out before GoldenEye. I guess it proved that the consoles were capable of producing different yet equally good style first-person games as a PC.
I think the second one's still my favorite, but yeah, Turok games are pretty good. We talked about these yet again.
The comic book retrospective.
Like that comes up a lot here, but that actually should be the last time I bring it up. But yeah, these are really good games. They're dirt cheap now too.
Also, the other one I got is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I guess you could say 1 and 2 also on there, but I played 2 a lot. I played the Tony Hawk games on PlayStation more than on 64 because I remember reading reviews that the 64 versions kind of got gimped a little bit because of the limitations of the cartridge. You couldn't fit all the songs on there, and they really slimmed down on the levels and stuff like that. But we'll say a little footnote. It's worth mentioning that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 is the last official N64 release in America.
Oh, wow.
Because it came out, I remember too, it kind of came out like a half a year after the original Tony Hawk 3 release in the summer of 2002. And it hit retailers, and a lot of people were surprised it actually got released on N64. So,
yeah.
What you got?
Going to actually talk about Turok and Tony Hawk. Yeah, Tony Hawk, man, that's good stuff there. I actually went back and got them all. I bought all the Tony Hawk games, so I actually have all of them except for the one with the peripheral run that he released. Well, the last
Ride
2.
And
yeah, whatever the last 2 were.
Shred.
But yeah.
Probably find them for $10 somewhere.
Yeah. Top Gear Rally and Overdrive. I used to play those as well. Once again,
I'm playing Top Gear Rally.
Yeah, just any racing game, man. I used to love racing games back then. And probably I'd say my second favorite N64 game of all time, behind, and I hate to say that, behind Shadows of the Empire, is Tetrisphere, which I love me some Tetrisphere. It was exactly what it sounds like. It's Tetris on a ball with techno music playing. You rotate the ball, drop your piece. Really addicting.
I played Tetrisphere with you. I guess I was too hooked on new Tetris to really give Tetrisphere a chance. But
oh man, I played the crap out of this, and I still
try looking up footage on Tetris Axis. It just came out for 3DS. There's some different modes of Tetris on there that utilize the 3D that gave me the impression that, hey, this looks a little bit like Tetrisphere.
Yeah, I'd kill to play another version of Tetrisphere, but yeah, I love Tetrisphere. So, but yeah, that's my team, man. Tetrisphere is the shit. So,
I only got one U. I don't even think there's any games that start with U, but. It was kind of related to the N64. And this is the code name of the N64, the Ultra 64.
Yeah, yep.
If you remember Cruising USA at the arcades, it would flash Nintendo, and then it would flash Ultra 64.
Yep.
So yeah, that was the only, a lot of people. I think it was supposed to be called the Ultra 64 also, and then Nintendo decided just to call it the Nintendo 64. So
well, it's kind of like the Wii was supposed to be called the Revolution. And
no, well they said the Revolution was just a code name for a long time.
That would have been cool.
Yeah,
it's way better than the Wii.
Yes.
And now we got the Wii U.
Why
got the Wii HD? Seriously, just do Wii HD. Why?
Yeah.
You sons of bitches. Anyways.
All right. I guess, yeah, we're ready to move on to the Vs. I got, I guess, 3 games, kind of, but I guess I've never played any of these, but Virtual Pro Wrestling 1 and 2, which was, they were Japan-only releases, but they were Aki developed, the same guys that made No Mercy, Revenge World Tour, like the best wrestling games, still in my opinion to this day. They made 2 wrestling games in Japan, and these like had like crazy big rosters of like all the wrestling promotions because they didn't like have just kind of licensing rights that they do here in America at that time. So they like have like all the major wrestlers from all the promotions, and I remember seeing footage of them. Like, oh, I really want to play this, and if I was to import any N64 games, it would be those 2. And I also have Vigilante 8. I remember playing that one with you, which was like, hey, PlayStation has Twisted Metal, but that's a Sony game, so you can have it on N64. So here's Vigilante 8, and I remember it being like a funky 70s themed car combat game, which was decent for the time.
I got nothing. That Vigilante 8's the only one I played. So.
Right. All right, X. I got Xena Warrior Princess.
You didn't have any W's?
Oh, I skipped W. Shit. Oh, well. No, okay, W. Well, let's do X since we're on X. Xena Warrior Princess, which I didn't play, but that's the only game I saw. I think I saw it started with X. There might have been one other one, but... I
got an X.
What's that?
Xylophone.
Xylophone. No games have xylophone in it.
That's a torch joke.
I guess I don't read that column as much as you.
Yep. The PW torch joke for all you cheap pop listeners as well. Not going to explain this.
You know, a lot of people don't know what you're talking about right now.
I don't care. I'm not going to explain it.
Okay, Matt. All right. You don't have any... I'm surprised there's no X-Men games for the N64.
I'm not. They kind of stopped for a little while.
Oh, yeah, this was the generation where comic book games sucked, so...
Yeah.
But, okay, W's. Wheel of Fortune.
Yep.
Because just like Jeopardy... this was a hit with my family. This was... I remember it actually played really good, too, and we played a ton of this. There's a ton of puzzles, so they didn't really repeat that much, and, like, Jeopardy had full motion video, so we ate that up at the time. Just had Vanna White, but she wasn't a news reporter, and they were like, she wasn't Double Dragon.
It was Andy Dick as the weatherman.
Oh, man. Yeah, crazy cameos in the Double Dragon movie, by the way. But, it's Wheel of Fortune. What more do you need to know? We should play more online and PS3 again, man. It's been a while. It was a good time.
With our stoned friend that we played with last friend. He's hitting his pipe in the background as we were playing Wheel of Fortune. You hear this whistling noise. The guy was getting high. Oh man, what is it? The 2-person horse costume was one of the puzzles, and like he's trying to answer, and it says 2-person, and then it was like URSE costume, and he tried to put like a he put purse instead of horse. I remember I was like 2-person purse costume, like, and that guy's like, man, I'm high as hell. Damn, I thought I was gonna get it.
Playing Wheel of Fortune online with randoms.
Strangers that are stoned really, really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, and my other D is Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey. And they did a sequel also, but I remember it was like the first really good polygonal arcade hockey game, and really ate it up for the time. What do you got?
War Gods.
Oh, God.
Another bad fighting game.
Another bad fighting game.
Wetrix, which was came out after Tetrisphere. Another weird kind of Tetris type game where you water and I don't know.
I don't think it was like you're playing on like a flat plane and you had to maneuver like the
water. Yeah,
the water.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's hard to explain it, but it was a fun game. Win Back, which we were talking about before the show. Which I remember playing it. I don't remember anything about it, and we were talking about how I got a sequel
on the tail end of the Xbox,
like 10 years after it came out, or something like that. But Wipeout 64, which I couldn't get Wipeout on PlayStation. The 64 version worked very well. So. But, that's my W's.
Alright, we did X, so Y. And I got a double shot of Yoshi for you, Matt.
Did not play either.
Oh, I didn't play Yoshi's Story, the 2D Yoshi game, which I imagine is probably
Pretty good.
to go back to since it was a 2D game. I remember screenshots of it looking good at the time. But the other one I got is Yoshi's Valley, the track in Mario Kart 64. That evil track in Mario Kart 64 because halfway through the track they have that huge crisscross portion of the track where everything got intersected with each other, and there's a billion different paths branched off from each other. And then try playing the track in reverse mode, and holy crap, that led to a lot of confusion. It was just fun to play for the sheer confusion of it all with friends and family. And and there's that giant Yoshi egg that always crushed me too. God damn it. Alright. And you said you got nothing?
I got nothing for the next ones.
Yeah, what about Z? You got stuff for Z?
I got nothing for
You got nothing for Z?
I can say Zelda, but we already covered Zelda.
You can say Zelda. I got 0 Hour, the subtitle to the Duke Nukem follow-up.
I never played that.
Yeah, I didn't play it either, but I was desperate for Z's. And the other Z I got is the developer Z Axis. Name of the developer, Z Axis. Responsible for a few N64 games like Space Invaders, another retro remake, and Fox Sports College Hoops 99. I'm getting desperate when I'm naming these games.
You are.
I never played either of them. So yeah, wraps up our N64 Alphabet Soup.
Yay!
Let's go have some Alphabet Soup.
Alphabet cereal.
Yeah. All right.
Nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's all good.
I do. I don't know if it's probably still around.
I still make it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, if you guys got any N64 memories, email them to us. Mailbag at ontappodcast.com.
Extra Life.
Extra Life's coming up. I'll definitely be playing some N64 games on Extra Life. Like I said, I plan on kicking it off like I kicked off last year, trying to beat the No Mercy survival mode. I'm most likely be doing a spur of the moment, watch me suffer and play Superman 64 segment right after the No Mercy segment. So probably doing just quick minor on the spur donations just to get that donation moving, get those donations moving. And if you go to retroids.com or our website ontappodcast.com, you can go there for donation info. So definitely check that out. Check out our forums for that donation info and for episode info to interact with the community. Always like seeing feedback either from emails or right there on the forum. So it's always great to hear what listeners have to say. So anything you want to plug or shill, Matt?
No.
No. I see
Shitty movie day.
Shitty movie day. Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Jackass 3.
Yeah, we needed something to lift our spirits after that. We were going to do Street Fighter with Van Damme, but we were just dragging after Double Dragon.
You got to start off with something positive. Well, I guess you started with Lego Star Wars. That was fun.
We drank a lot yesterday. I gotta warn you, it sounds like I'm a drunk. I don't drink often out there, guys. Just every once in a while.
That's what they all say.
I don't have a problem.
We drink on the weekends.
I drank 4 times this year. You were there 2 of them.
It's only January 2nd, man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, also check us out on Twitter. I'm Gruel. Matt's on Twitter. Kind of.
I have a Twitter, but I don't use it.
Should use it, Matt. Tweets. I tweeted about Double Dragon.
Look me up on Facebook. P. Wade's on Facebook. Look for P. Wade. He's homeless.
You met him last week.
This is a homeless guy living in my hallway.
Until you call the police.
Got arrested. We thought he was dead. It's not funny, man.
He actually thought he was dead?
Dude, he didn't move. I walk by with delicious donuts and he doesn't stir. I think something's wrong. Homeless people love donuts. I've seen it. TV. Just like Oscar the Grouch.
Alright, with that, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll talk to you. We'll be back next week for sure with our Gears of War spoiler episode.
And if not, I'll see you then.
Alright, peace. Bye.
your right hand in the box.
What's in the box?